first StevDeScussion I had was with my buddy Kaizenball. So it's like this is familiar territory. Of course, he wanted me to be up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, my time,
Oh,
as opposed to midnight. So because he's got kids, they make noise. They make noise. So he
I
was
have to
like,
start talking to him if he's Australian.
"Oh yeah, yeah, yes." Well, actually, no, he's from New Zealand.
Oh, and he's well. That's still close. It's only a
Close
4 hour.
enough. Close enough.
I could
So
swim over there.
yeah, you could. You could. So let's go ahead and get the first sort of bit out of the way for the show. While I am currently burning my fingers by squeezing this tea bag because I am very
I do it all the
hard-headed.
time.
Very hard-headed. Go ahead and let me know. Just a question that I ask all of the guests on the show, as far as StevDeScussion is concerned. When you see these comments from your viewers, you see all the different what if suggestions. Some people saying, hey, I like this about your videos, I like this about your videos. This is a good suggestion for what ifs, which is the name of the game on the show. We're going to be answering some questions from your fans. Which ones do you choose to do? Because I know that there are some comments that actually stick out from the flock, and you're like, that would be a good what if to do. What is your process when it comes down to deciding what ifs to do from your fans, and what ifs that are like, maybe not?
Well, it all in terms of what I go for three things. My favorite one is originality. So something that never has been seen before. They are the golden ones. I can tell you, like, if you get one of those ones out, everyone will be interested because no one's done that one before, and that might catch people's interest, and it's always fun to do another one. The second one is always avoid the fanficky ones, because there's some things that just can really step right outside of the boundaries of Dragon Ball and really mess things up. So, yeah. And then there's the final one, which are ones that have been done before, but they can take so many different routes, like such as, for an example, what if Goku had God Key, for an example? That's a bit outlandish sometimes, but it can be done. People can either A, make him instantly overpowered, B, he has a process of learning how to control his power, or C, he just can do it on the go. This is a very bad choice, of course. There are much better choices, but as said, there's always a better way to do a different type of what if. So such an example, everybody has been doing what if Bardock and Gine went to Earth, and I'm gonna stick it out here. I was one of the first people to do that one, even though I was terrible back then 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, everybody's got a learning curve, including this learning curve, starting the second season of StevDeScussions. Welcome to the show, Lagg's What Ifs. How you feeling tonight, man?
I'm feeling pretty good, just a bit. The weather over here is pretty toasty.
Oh,
Very
yeah, opposite
warm.
over here. It's freezing like crazy over here.
Yes, you guys are sitting in a snowball while I'm burning in a fireball.
Yeah, pretty much. But what you're going through is nothing different to what I experienced in Bermuda. I'm from Bermuda, so the summers there are just friggin' crazy, but the winters never got colder than 58. So it was like, I kind of see where you're coming from.
Well, what people say in Melbourne, where in Australia, that we have all 4 seasons in 1 month. Like, we get hot, cold, warm. We get everything, like autumn, summer, winter. Get everything. It's bloody annoying, but I guess I prefer the cold. So my birthday's in spring, and honestly, spring is one of the best times because it's in between. It will be nice to have a nice day or a bit of a chilly day, and chilly days aren't too bad because it ends up being a warm day.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, as is the tradition here on StevDeScussions, I have a guest here, and usually when you go through what-if suggestions, from the fans, all the comments and stuff, sometimes you just don't want to tackle them alone. Well, that is what this StevDeScussion is. So hopefully some of my fans will get to know you a little better. Hopefully some of your fans will get to know me a little better. And this is a chance for your fans to have their questions answered by the man that they are asking the questions. Are you ready to get into this?
Yes, I am ready. Most of these ideas are from Discord as well. I've been trying to fish through them, but I had a whole area of them. But I recently updated my Discord server, deleting half of the chat, and I was just
Oh,
about it.
I
Oh
had to go
well.
through a lot of deletions as well, dude. There was a lot. So we are going to hit these what if suggestions, lovingly crafted by the fans over at Lagg's What If. If you haven't checked out his channel, hey, what are you doing with your life? Check out the description, the StevDeScussion below. That's kind of my gimmick. I'm trying to push that. Check out the links in the StevDeScussion below because Lagg's What Ifs is down there. And if you like his content, hey, check it out. So we're gonna go ahead and hit this with the first one. What if Trunks came back in the Buu Saga? Now, my fans know me for absolutely despising the character of Future Trunks. I do. I hate him. But if he came back in the Buu Saga, what would he be doing would be the biggest question. Like, what happened in the future to make him come back?
I would assume it would be something about the Buu Saga,
Mm-hmm.
because, well, I'm pretty sure the Supreme Kai died in his timeline, which could have caused a lot of problems. So maybe he might bring up the fact that there's a time machine or something. I don't know how this would come into play. Either that, or he warns them about Majin Buu because, he beats Majin Buu and comes back to warn them, because that's also possible.
Mm-hmm.
And meets Supreme Kai there as well.
So he would be a vehicle to make the plot go ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Would he be there before the Supreme Kai went to Earth?
Yes, he would be before. I'd probably say about a month before, like when Videl and Gohan started, when Gohan started training Videl, because Trunks loves to interrupt things like the future, like the whole future about Goku Black, and then it would actually give Goku Black more motivation to kill Trunks or end him because he's breaking more laws of time by going back twice instead of once. Well,
Fair
it would be
enough.
3 times.
So it would make another time ring.
Pretty much.
Ooh.
And maybe Trunks might train Gohan up, or Gohan might train Trunks. You never know, because I feel like Trunks, I really hate how the design of Trunks changed from Z to Super. How I don't mind his hair so much, but the fact that he just loses all of his buffness and goes down to this shrivel thing. I prefer the Trunks with the singlet, the nice spiky long hair, the nice gains.
Right.
They were just so much better.
Yeah, Super Saiyan Grade 3 Trunks just is the key form that you think of when you think of Future Trunks. And I like how they brought it back in Super, just for him to kind of fake Vegeta out when they were doing the training session.
Yeah.
That was good. I was like, okay, cool. So he's got a head on his shoulders, at least. But that's about. I mean, that part was ruined, and I still haven't gotten past the Copy Vegeta saga. I gotta get back to watching Super.
Honestly, out of the Copy Vegeta saga, I didn't know till recently that Vegeta was actually the Ocean dub. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that blew my mind when I first heard his voice. I was like, wait a minute, I know this voice. And I actually looked up the scene where he's explaining, your father was a brilliant scientist. and I was like, that's him! That's the brilliant scientist, Vegeta.
Yeah, I mean, I was like that. That's probably what made the Copy Vegeta arc somewhat decent. That there was the two Vegetas, talking, and how you had the difference. Because honestly, I like Ocean Dub Vegeta as well, alongside. I like both Vegetas. I grew up with the regular Vegeta. I say regular, I mean Funimation Vegeta,
quote unquote regular. Yeah.
Quote unquote regular. But both of them were good, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he recently passed away.
Yeah, he did. It was sad, but I mean, he got that last moment in the limelight. He did really well. That was great. That was great.
He said he got his last lines out before he rested in peace. So
yeah,
yes, God rest his soul.
Yeah, another victim of 2020. Damn it.
Yes. Oh man. First it was Black Panther. And
Yeah.
then, man,
I'm still
um,
crying over Rick May, man. The Team Fortress 2 soldier actually died. That was big in the world of gaming.
2020 was just bleh.
Yeah, yeah. So let's all work together to try to make 2021 a better one. And as far as making a better one, I'm not sure if this timeline will make a better future Trunks. You know, like if he came back in the Buu Saga, boom,
Yeah.
nailed it. First off, brought it back around, nailed it. Okay, so but as far as future Trunks coming back in the Buu Saga, I would think okay, he would be happy for Gohan because he would see Gohan getting with Videl. You know, Gohan was a
Yes.
big thing in his life, so seeing Gohan grown up with Videl, that would just kick off sooner. Would he not screw up the timeline by saying, "Hey, Boo's around"? Uh,
Uh,
bef-
hmm.
before Supreme God, because Goku's not on Earth. Keep in mind, Goku's still dead, so
Yes,
he
and
he,
that's
he has to convince Vegeta, which was, I mean, the only reason he got Vegeta on his side is because he died to Cell. Um, and then he
hmm.
has to get Gohan on his side to go to Buu, and even then, I would think Goten would kind of push his way to the front. It just seems like a timeline, which, I mean, it might work out, having Trunks as sort of a vehicle to start the Buu Saga prematurely, and then the tournament could just go on as the tournament.
Hmm.
But it also seems like Trunks, stop sticking your nose where it doesn't need to be. You know?
Like, out of all honesty, the Boo Saga, like Boo Saga was good. The Cell Saga was way better. Like everything from the
Oh
androids to
yeah,
Cell Saga is honestly my personal favorite. The Boo Saga was good in some cases, such as like I really love the music for Super Saiyan 3, like for the English dub,
I still rock
and
out to Super
it's
Saiyan 3
so
remix.
good. That
Uh,
was yeah, agreed. It's so good. And then you've got like other things that happen that also make it interesting. Like I mean, Vegito was cool, but he kind of screws around a bit.
yeah.
Gohan should have gotten another win under his belt because like he was just a bit cocky. I swear, it did
Uh,
drag on a bit.
See,
And then
I
the
didn't think about that.
yeah,
That was a good point, Gohan, because he wouldn't have gotten attacked by God, what is it, Yamu and Spopovich. He wouldn't have
yeah,
gotten attacked like that. He would have gone Super Saiyan 2, and Ultimate Gohan probably wouldn't exist if Trunks could handle it by himself.
yeah.
Then
Well, yeah. Sorry, you continue.
yeah, it's okay. You're by all means going in. Come on in anytime. You know, active conversation. But if Gohan Super Saiyan 2 Super Saiyan 2 Gohan could have handled it just fine. Because Future Trunks didn't have Super Saiyan 2 when he confronted Deborah, did he?
I think he might have because he managed to deal with Deborah, and Deborah was supposed to be as strong or if not stronger or weaker than Cell. I don't know how that works. I don't know what the power scaling is to that
Yeah,
much, but
yeah.
yeah,
I'd have to look that one up because that's an
yeah.
interesting. Like, how did Trunks do it?
Well, I think like he was learned how to deflect his spit, and then he blasted him to dust. But then I think that came at the cost of the life of the Supreme Kai, so he might have been weaker. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's complicated,
There's some
honestly.
complications, but that what if does have some promise. I'll give it that. It really does have some promise. What would sell it to me is make Future Trunks a good character instead of help me.
We gotta save the future.
Gotta save the
Uh,
future. What do
Eddie,
you?
love me.
It didn't work with Silver the Hedgehog. Why would it work with Future Trunks?
So, what if the Saiyans went Ikari when they looked at the moon? Another idea from Discord. That honestly would be very interesting.
It would. It would. Akari is one of those things that like I even in the What If Broly Went to Namek series that I have on my channel, it's one of those odd beasts that I'm like, how do you analyze this? Is it just the power scaling of an Azaru? Is it the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets? If so, is there a limit to it? I it's one of those beasts that we don't know enough of, but it's fascinating to talk about.
So the way I used to think about it when we first saw Broly in this form in the trailers, me and my friend would have a discussion about this, and we would assume that this form would just be like how Mastered Super Saiyan is a lot stronger than Super Saiyan, just base, like by only a small percentage, but it's a lot more efficient as Goku could last in it for like basically 2 whole weeks, maybe like 9 days or whatever. And then with the Ikari form, it's just the mastered version of the Ozaru form, and it could be like a 20 times increase or like a 15 times increase. But as Paragus said, the downside to this is you lose your mind because Broly hasn't had the right training. So if someone else, just an example, Vegeta, would have had the training to control that, I reckon he'd do pretty well at it because, well, he could control the Grade 8 form pretty well. The Ikari form would probably be a little more difficult because, all that power is compacted down instead of into one giant figure. It's all in just one bulky Saiyan, pretty much.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned Vegeta as far as the Ikari form, in that in what you were saying there, Vegeta would probably have an easier time with the form like Goku. Would have a harder time with the form. I feel like you said, he can control the Grade 8 form a lot better. Goku got rid of his tail early on, and when it comes down to certain forms, Vegeta has been proven time and again to master the forms a lot easier than Goku. Goku pushes the boundaries. Like Super Saiyan 3. Okay, you've got a step up from Super Saiyan 2. Good friggin' job, Goku. What's the downside? You lose too much energy too freaking quick. Meanwhile, Vegeta can effortlessly hold Super Saiyan 2 in that form and make it last. And
exactly,
that's the clear difference between the two. So Ikari, I could see Goku have a really tough time mastering this form, but Vegeta must have more experience with the Great Ape's Rage, and something like that would be something like that would be right up Vegeta's angle. I agree with you on that.
Like Vegeta has always shown time and time again to be much better at being such a rival and just pushing himself further without having to do the same things as Goku. For an example, like he may not have mastered Super Saiyan, but he sure as hell used it a lot more efficiently when we first saw him use it. He bloody destroyed Android 19 like he was nothing.
Exactly. Even if he was showboating a little bit, Vegeta has that cocky attitude when he can. That he was absolutely destroying 19. He told Krillin, "Give me a senzu bean." Why? Because he spent too much time showboating, and he knows these androids just aren't really much of a challenge. He wants to do more of that and show his superiority. At that time, he really cared about that. When it came down to Super, you see that he's got a much more calm mindset. Now, as far as what if Saiyans went Ikari when they looked at the moon, we have to go all the way back to classic Dragon Ball for this. The first time Goku transformed into an Ozaru. Now, this is where the confusion sets in, for me at least. If a Saiyan goes Ikari when they looked at the moon, given that they have a tail, would they not have an Ikari Ozaru form?
Yes, there would be definitely more wild.
Yeah. So Grandpa Gohan's definitely dead. There's no getting around that. And the next time Goku would transform, as far as what we saw in the series, would be in Pilaf's castle.
Yes.
Something tells me that if you have an Azari, you know what? That's gonna be what I'm going to call it. An Ozaru with the Ikari form, an Ozari form. That's how I'm gonna do it. If you have an Ozari that has lost his shit and destroyed the castle, and you have this plane trying to stop him, something tells me that Pilaf and gang, they're dead.
Oh,
they're dead.
More than dead.
If you have Goku, who knows a little bit of ki now by this point, by that small Kamehameha he did, he would shoot a mouth beam and blast them out of the air. Now, I don't think Toriyama would kill the Pilaf gang outright. I think that blast would probably skim the plane. But if we're talking logistics, they're dead.
But they're ash.
They're gone.
Yeah, nothing. Evaporated.
Mm-hmm.
See you later, I guess.
But then the Sea Warriors would still cut his tail off. He would still be alive. He would still be awake. He would still have the Ikari form. Meaning Yamcha has to fight Kid Goku off, a more powerful Kid Goku at that. And by that point, Yamcha and Goku were about on par with each other. So,
and a nice 10 times multiplier on top might not be a nice little thing for Yamcha. But one thing to add on, the form could drain a lot of energy, or it be such a strain, because we've shown it can be, even though Broly is completely different, and his potential is insane compared to what anyone other Saiyan has been, because he was able to go toe-to-toe with a Super Saiyan Vegeta after a bit of pummeling, and then once Super Saiyan God came, it just wiped the floor. But the minute he came back, he took on, like, he was basically blue Goku level, probably starting to lose. Yeah, so he was doing pretty well.
He learned to fight while fighting him. And there is one other detail I want to bring in about this. A detail that I noticed not a lot of what ifers actually touch on, and that is the anatomy of a Saiyan tail. Now, the Saiyan tail, as we saw in the Raditz fight, as we saw throughout classic Dragon Ball, that is a prime weakness for a lot of Saiyans. They don't like having their tail touched. Why? Because a Saiyan's tail helps regulate the energy in their bodies. So, if you have a tight enough grip on that tail, guess what? You're pretty much immobilized. We saw that in the fight with Raditz. And I feel like the same thing could have been said if someone had grabbed Nappa's tail. The same thing does happen because when Vegeta loses his tail, Gohan is able to go toe-to-toe with him.
Yes.
So it's like, if Goku lost his tail there, okay, I can see Yamcha capitalize on some open shots, I guess you could say. Capitalize on the fact that Goku's not thinking straight when fighting him. And Goku does not have a lot of power at that point. He was used to having his tail up to this point. So, lasting till morning, okay, Yamcha might be badly beaten up, but he still would be able to last till morning, and Goku would feel kind of bad that he wasn't around for the fight when he comes to. And that is just the beginning of Dragon Ball. So, I don't... There's a lot to unpack there. That is a very descriptive what if. Bravo to the individual that wrote that one.
Student 15.
Yep, good job, Student 15. I like to give credit where credit is due as far as channels that I watch on Twitch, on YouTube, all that stuff. So this is a shout out to Drunken Uncle, twitch.tv/drunkleplays. He is funny as hell, prefers a mature audience, but it is some good time in gaming over there. He's not going for partner, but he's a good fella. But he has this gimmick where he says, cheeky save! You want a cheeky save? Let's do a cheeky save, where he saves in the middle of the game. And I kind of want to extend that to you, Lagg. What if Saiyans went Ikari when they looked at the moon? Because there's a lot of potential there. You want to do a cheeky collab? Let's do a cheeky collab on that one.
Why not? Yeah, that one sounds good.
That'll be fun.
Yes, it would be fun. I do like, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Salad Saiyan. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Salad Saiyan, yeah. Or Salad Saiyan, I like to call it.
Yes. He's got some good ideas, but I feel like he rushes them out too much. Like, he gets videos out really quickly. He does take some good aspects and stuff, but in far as his is more power based, where I really love Smugstick, who also goes for that story base, where he's really good at writing stories.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I do with my story. If you notice in any of my videos, I have that stack of books with that stack of pens. All of those pens are empty. I have dried out all of those pens in those notebooks that are full front and back. I write all of my stories handwritten.
Damn.
So the reason why is because looking back on it, I can be like, I remember sitting down and writing this, and that's cool. It's like a museum piece, and I take joy in coming up with these ideas. Like you're saying, Salad, saying he puts them out fast, but he does come up with good ideas. And Smugstick, I have to check out Smugstick's content, but Salad saying Smugstick, if you're interested in being on StevDeScussions, let me know in the comments if you see this. I know I've got a list of different what ifers. I do want Dragon Star. If you're out there, Trey, I want you on here again. Part 2. Let's go, baby. So I do want him on the show. I would like it to get Kaizenball again. But this is season 2. This is opening season 2. I wanted to start with a new face. Thank you for coming, Lagg. And let's go ahead with the next suggestion, which is, oh boy, I noticed you said that thing about fan fiction-y content. In the beginning of this.
This can be a very fanficky one.
Oh,
but my friend was going like, come on, I haven't watched Dragon Ball much, but I've watched a lot of JoJo, big fan of JoJo. Now, if Goku had a stand, you would have to encrypt it's a lot. It is very fanficky.
Okay. Yeah.
But it could be interesting.
It could be. So, you know what? I did what if Goku God dang it. What if Goku was a son of Sparta from Devil May Cry? So that was fanfiction-y as hell to write, but I was able to make it work. So I like to approach these with an open mind. Yeah. But mixing anime with anime typically results in kind of an odd creature. So, but I don't know a lot about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I think is what the anime is. I'm gonna let you lead on this one, Lagg.
Oh, I've only watched I've watched part 1 to 5, and honestly, I like
more than I have.
Yes, part 1 and 2 don't have stands. They use a technique called Harmon to kill vampires and what are they called? Pillarmen from the past, so basically an ancient civilizations. I don't even know if they're humans. I have to look into it. But yeah, and then part 3 and 4, they stop a bad guy from part 1 who comes back to life because he's a vampire, and then he stabs himself with a magical arrow, or his minions stab him. He gains a stand. He's overpowered now. Instead of using super strength and laser beams and freezing people to death and sort of that, he's just like, hey, Zawaldo, stop time, kill people, throw knives, punch holes in people, snap people's necks, does whatever he wants. And I feel like this stand idea is pretty cool and all. Goku having a stand, what would his stand ability be? Because every stand is unique and they have their different ability, such as like there's stands that are fighting ones like Star Platinum, which is like, think of it as a spirit that fights. Like, think of Jiren when he punches. Rapid punch, except they're probably a lot slower. They depending on their range and everything, and overall ability. So Star Platinum's just very precise and can stop time for short periods of time. And then there's something like Purple Hermit, which is a Harmon whip, or a purple Harmon whip that can do multiple things, such as use Harmon, which is as an ancient, like, basically think of like a breathing version of Ki, where you use breathing to power yourself up using different abilities. Where the user known as Joseph doesn't have such mastery over it, but his great grandpa or grandpa has mastery over it, who he never meets because he was killed. He can use and create maps and memorize a whole town, or he can just swing, or he can, like, he can do more things than just one. But for Goku, he would have either a fighting type stand, or maybe something like, energy based. Like his stand can manipulate energy, or we don't know if this is stacking on top of what he's already got. It's something very, very hard to tackle.
I noticed you said something in that you would have like an energy based stand. And the more you were talking about how important a stand's relationship is with their host, I guess you could say?
Yes, it's their spirit. If their stand, I'm pretty sure if their stand dies or takes damage, you take damage. Or if you take damage, your stand takes damage. I forget how these work. Well, but I'm pretty sure I'm close with that.
Yeah, so first of all, how old was Jotaro?
Yes, Jotaro.
How old was he when he got his stand?
Well, his stand manifested when he was, I think, 16, 17,
Okay.
17.
Okay, so
Because,
if
yeah.
we were to use the age argument, Goku
Mm.
16, 17, we're talking about the time when he comes back into the picture after training with Kami
Yeah.
for the tournament where he takes on Piccolo Jr. I don't think the character of Goku would take to a stand very well. He would have that annoying Saiyan pride about him and be like, I don't want help. I want to be strong on my own. So
Yeah.
that's where the biggest difficulty I feel with this suggestion is, in the sense that we've known Goku to break limits, and I don't like to mention other what ifers when it comes down to trying to prove an argument, but given what has happened in Masako's most recent videos, because apparently he has thrown himself all at one timeline. What if Videl was a Z fighter? Goku got the ultimate power, and because it was a final limit and he couldn't get further and he had to have help to get it, that Saiyan pride took such a hit that he became more of a family man and kind of gave up on training. I
Yeah.
feel like this would be a downward spiral if Goku ended up getting a stand and being like, well, all of this power isn't just me. What's the point of going on if it's not just me? And he would enter that sort of. I mean, his power would be great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever stand he ended up getting would work well with him, but then you have the basic nature of Goku where he's like, I don't like training anymore because it's not just me, it's you. I mean, I like going around the world collecting the Dragon Balls. That's still fun, but I guess
Yeah.
Chi-Chi wants me here for Gohan or whatever, so I might
We
want to
can
just start. Yeah.
on because remember, Jotaro was only human.
Mm.
So the humans could possibly have it as well. That would probably give Goku more of a drive. They'd be
Mm.
fighting with fighting one on one and then
Yeah,
using
give the humans
spirits.
a quirk. I like that.
Yes.
I like that odd. So, like, if you're saying give the humans a quirk, give Bandit Yamcha a stand.
Yes.
As
That'd be
as
interesting.
friggin' joking as that is, okay, like as funny as that sounds, think about it. The only thing that stopped Yamcha from killing Goku that day was the fact that he saw Bulma and he was afraid of women. Now give him a
Yeah.
stand, and Goku, while even though he's starving, he wouldn't fall on
Yeah.
his butt. He would have a legitimate freaking challenge where he has to get real serious against Yamcha regardless of his weakness.
Yeah.
He would fail. He would go against. He would fail. Yamcha would win because he has the stand. But at the same time, Goku would realize that Yamcha is not just doing this alone. He's fighting 2-on-1. I would give, if you were to incorporate stands into Dragon Ball, I would give not only the humans a chance at a stand, but I would also give Saiyans the eyesight to be able to see stands.
That
And
would be
it's
interesting.
more of a,
Because
like, just like with sensing energy with Vegeta, it would be a learned skill.
I feel like they wouldn't see them directly, but they would see like an aura because they would have to have one to see one. I don't really know how that works. I think it's just more of a thing of
Yeah.
the author created, which is still pretty interesting. But something like they can see an outline of energy or spirit, because I feel like if, say, Goku had a stand and then like he would be able to see, but if he didn't, as you said, fighting Yamcha, he'd just see like an outline of what it is,
Mm-hmm.
which would be interesting.
I would make just a fun little thing to end this one off. I would make Roshi's stand the Gamera.
Yes, that'd be interesting. No, I
That'd be
completely agree
cool.
with you there.
That'd be cool. And then Roshi's teaching Krillin. Oh God, that would be a fun scene. This is your stand. This is what you have to do with it in order to use the power. But I don't have one. What? How do you not have a stand? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't see anything. Like Goku would just be that odd outlier. And that would just improve the whole this child keeps getting stronger every time he's defeated thing.
Yeah.
you're going to have 6-2 after this. So be sure you check that out when it comes out, fans. Because let me tell you, these are some suggestions, just like this one, which says, what if Jiren was in Universe 6? Can I tell you, the one thing I hate about Jiren is I had to start calling Giren Giren. Because they decided, oh, Jiren, that's a good name. It's not going to it's going to get confused if you have people talking about classic Dragon Ball. So, Jiren in Universe 6, we have to analyze the history of Universe 6, what we do know about it. So, you have this guy Frost, Mr. Pirate, selling planets and profiting off of warring with the planets in standing up and being sort of a peaceful guy. Well, at least putting that act on. You also have the Saiyans who are working with the good half of that plan. Jiren, there's no Pride Troopers to really make Jiren go that way. So would he get the attention of Champa? Let's start with that. Because he got the attention of his god of destruction, the freaking clown guy. I don't know what his name is. But would he get Champa's attention? Champa doesn't strike me as kind of like how Beerus likes fighting. Champa doesn't strike me as someone that likes fighting.
Well, it would all depend. If Jiren has the same backstory, which we can alter in this timeline, because he's not in Universe 11, he's got a new start in Universe 6, he'd probably be a part of the Sadala Defense Force, to be completely honest. Or something along those lines, because there's no Galactic Patrol, or there's no other, like, defense force, like the Pride Troopers, or anyone else you see in the universes who, like, people team up, fight, and or save universe, playing the whole superhero gimmick.
As fan fictiony as it would be, there are arguments to make for Jiren meets Kaba, and Kaba seems like a very lighthearted Saiyan. He seems like a guy that is really easy to get along with. Tarble. So when it comes down to that, I could see Jiren get along with him, and let's say Jiren loses his family, loses his planet, all of that shit. It gets torn up by war. Because that was Frost's big thing, tear planets apart by war, then sell them. I could see Jiren, like you said, join the Sadala Peace Force. And he would be interesting for Universe 6's roster because he does strive for strength. And I think that brute, if you were to keep that brute attitude, that would be something that would kind of revive Saiyans in a way. Possibly making Universe 6 discover Super Saiyan, in which case you have the Universe 6 tournament with Jiren and Hit. And that's a scary thought.
That is very scary.
That is a scary thought. Only because Jiren kind of has that power behind him, but then you have to ask, would Universe 6 lend itself to getting Jiren to have that power if he's more of a team player in this timeline?
I feel like he wouldn't be as strong. He'd definitely be stronger than Hit. And, he'd be able to go toe-to-toe with him. Maybe we might have a backstory where someone hires Hit to kill Jiren, but Jiren is able to go toe-to-toe with Hit.
That's a good
Because that
thought.
could be it. Because, honestly, rewriting Jiren's, backstory, like you said before, with the whole pirate and war thing, that I could honestly go for. It sounds like such a good idea. And with Jiren and being in Universe 6 and, being, as you said, more of a team player. And, he'd be, more, I reckon he'd be more friendly. He would be a little more friendly and a little more open because, as you see, he's just it's over. Justice. Strength. And I have done a what if on Jiren being in the Broly movie where he was a lot more,
Did Dragon Ball Super Broly?
Yes, Dragon Ball Super Broly. And I'm currently working on what if Jiren was in the MORO Saga, which is a little afterwards, which I've been working on with my good friend Swordman. So if you're hearing this, man, hello.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's a good suggestion. Hey, you want to be on the show? I'm always looking. So, all right. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Go check that out. I'm definitely going to check that out after this session. Well, I'm going to go to bed after this session, but I'm going to consider checking that one out. That sounds interesting. As far as Jiren and Universe 6, let's get past the hard starts on that one. Let's go ahead and say, would they win the Universe 6 tournament?
I feel like Universe 6 would win, but as done countless times, I don't think Zeno would like transferring the Earths. Because people think, because, Trump is like, hey, I get things Earth, ha ha ha. But I'm pretty sure that, they wouldn't be able to do it on their own. They would have to ask Grand Priest, and Zeno would be like, nope.
Yep, I agree with that. The Grand Priest wouldn't let him because Zeno wouldn't, and that would actually strive Goku to train harder. The whole point of frickin' Manaka. I feel like Manaka would get knocked out by Jiren, to be honest with you. I would think that Jiren would put up a good fight against Vegeta, and yep. Vegeta would ultimately not get knocked out by Jiren. But by the time Goku comes in, Goku beats Jiren. But then Hit comes in, and at that point, Goku does not have the energy, because he probably would have pushed Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. He does not have the fortitude to stand up to Hit. And Hit would end up winning outright. And then Hit versus Manaka. This would go one of two ways. One, Hit would just brutally win against Manaka. End of story. And then, like you said, Zeno would say, no, you can't switch the Earths. That's not how the universes work. Or two, just like what we saw in Super, where Hit ends up just getting knocked out of his own accord, completely faking it. So both of those scenarios would fit here. As far as the Universal Survival arc,
Jiren would be a lot stronger than what he was, because he would strive for more strength, seeing that people are stronger than him.
Yes.
And that said, the whole universe tournament thing, I reckon he'd spend a lot of time intensely training. And I'm pretty sure his potential is very fascinating, and he has a lot of power. So he would reach a powerful point, as shown in the story.
Yep, so the way I see the Universal Survival arc going, and I'm just going to throw this out there because I haven't seen up to that point. Like I said, I've only seen up to the copy of Vegeta Saga.
Yeah.
So, what universe is Jiren from?
11. He is in a group of Pride Troopers.
Yes.
There is 10 of them, and he is the strongest.
Okay.
He blitzes everyone. Nobody is strong enough to go up against him. Blue Goku Kaioken times 20 with a Spirit Bomb didn't phase him. He looked at it and sent it right back, sucking Goku up into somewhat of an energy-based black hole. And then Goku came out as Omen, and then decided and landed some solid hits, but still couldn't win.
Okay,
so on.
I'm gonna throw this idea at you, and I want your honest opinion about this. If we're going down this timeline, Jiren versus the Pride Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
How many of them would it take to stop that mad monster?
Well, I'm going to stick with the Japanese dub or English sub. Toppo would absolutely be able to go toe-to-toe with him, considering he wouldn't be as powerful as what he was in Universe 11. He'd still be a powerhouse of Universe 6, because I reckon since Hit, it would be a powerhouse. He's more of a, skeptical. He'll stand up one fight and just win. But Jiren would brawl and win, where Hit would just one strike like he does in general. He one hits people. Nice. So Jiren would be a lot stronger than Hit. So in terms of the tournament, I'd say he would be maybe 50% as what's strong. And Toppo was able to go toe-to-toe with he managed to somewhat be beaten by a final shine Blue Evolution Vegeta, who could get back up right afterwards and still go Blue Evolution. If in that case you don't know what it is, I'm pretty sure you do. Blue Evolution Vegeta is basically what I interpret it, grade 2 Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah. I completely messed up that detail when I did what if Majin Vegeta killed Buu.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I have got to do. Defu, did I fuck up? An episode of that on because I know I messed up some details there. This episode of StevDeScussions brought to you by the Manic Mystic with a main attraction to many Zenny. Fortune teller Baba can tell you your fortune here and there and everywhere, whether you want to know if that significant other is in your future or even the day you might die. Fortune teller Baba. Her prices are not actually really realistic, so you better work at Capsule Corp if you have any hope of actually being with her, or you must know a Saiyan.
Microphone that's really good, putting some money into my content.
But as far as the content is concerned, this was a Let's Play channel. My Let's Plays are still on the channel. If anybody, they're archived. I don't have ads on them because I know they don't get me anything. So if you want to see me do some Let's Plays, check out early on in the channel. Really early on. I played stuff like Cuphead, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the 2005 version. I played stuff like Mega Man Classic, which when I start Twitch, I want to continue where I left off on Mega Man Classic. I have a bunch of Let's Plays, but that was not getting me the subscribers, and I wanted to take YouTube seriously. So that's what got me into What Ifs. Is I was like, I can tell a story, and Masako inspired me with the what if Frieza and Jiro teamed up, because that was out of friggin' left field. But he encouraged
that was good.
He encouraged other what if content, and I say that on my first what if, my very first what if Vegeta was born female. I didn't expect that one to be the first one, and I know all of my fans are like, when is part 9? I'm working on it. It's a big part. I want it to be big. I know it's part 9. You want the big part to be part 10. No, we're getting to a serious part in the timeline. So, I'm working on that as much as I can on the backlog because I want to make it a big project. I want to kind of expand the universe of the channel with that video. Much like we have Professor Des. Doing the analysis as far as power levels, as far as what that means for other characters. Yeah. It's just one of those big projects. So I feel like the goal to really upgrade your content comes in when you realize, oh, hey, I really freaking like doing this. I want to do better at this. Like that. You get that drive.
I'm working on something big at the moment. This is why I haven't been posting. Because I've done I've got 3 popular things on my channel, and they're my most active stuff, which is I've just finished up segment 1 with a collab with Damon, with what if Goku had Bardock's foresight, or Bardock gave Goku his foresight. I stuffed up my thumbnails with that. And that was really popular, and we finished the Dragon Ball segment, and now we're going to
list.
I can call him over if you want.
Oh no! I'll get to Omac446. He's like, I edit for it. I can introduce you to. I was like, let me see how things go with Lagg first, though. Let me see what goes with Lagg.
Yeah. And then there's what if Goku died early? What if Goku died during King Piccolo? As when he killed King Piccolo, he died at the same time, and he went off to King Kai's a lot earlier than usual. I fixed up. That was like when I first made it. I had the half-assed script, but I did do some decent editing. It was still terrible, but I went back and I made a 0.5 part where it was mainly voice act. It was a short special about how it actually happened, where Goku had the choice to train with Kami or King Kai, and he chooses to train with King Kai. He's brought back to life, so there's a little problem there, but I just go, hey, I watched some filler recently. We can use King Yama fruit. Surely King Yama will give him some fruit to survive.
Yeah, I got like the whole eating in Otherworld. That's one thing that's hard to get through it.
It's what saved me, because it saves the eating keeps someone full for 3 months. So Goku has a whole bag of Yama fruit alongside Krillin, who was brought back, and that was also in the other world, brought by Kami. So those two train with King Kai. It's painful because they're so weak, but they get a little boost from them going on the Snake Way and them having the armor fruit, because from what it says, it doubles your strength. So it's a little
Check out
boost.
that timeline. I'm going to interrupt you so that they can go check out the video. That'll be one of them that I put in the description. Lagg, just make sure after this, private message me a link to that, so that I can put that in the StevDeS description below this video.
Yes.
Check out that timeline. I don't want you to ruin all of it. I want them to go check out the content.
For us, everybody keeps asking for it. I want to take my time with that one as well.
Yep.
And then there's my biggest project I've been working on so far, and it's a hard one to do, but I've had to think this out really well. I've had to talk to so many people to get this really perfect. Like, there's no such thing as perfect, but I want to get it close as perfect. So it's called What If Sonic Was in Dragon Ball? And I'm not talking about just Sonic. I'm talking about the Sonic universe and putting that square into Dragon Ball.
Everybody has that!
No, but I'm doing this. There's 3-4 people who've done this, and people go after the whole fight of Sonic Forces.
I have that in What If Robotnik was part of the Red Ribbon Army?
That's also interesting. Is Sonic in that universe?
Yes. Okay, so I'll go ahead and say the beginning of it. I didn't start off of Sonic Forces, though. I started at the end of Sonic Generations, when Dr. Robotnik and Dr. Eggman, his past self and his future self, they were walking through that void at the end of the game. I said, well, that void looks a lot like the hyperbolic time chamber. And that's where I made the connection there, because they're two smart scientists that can bounce ideas off of each other, keep each other sane, and the dimension doesn't affect them as much as it would, say, Vegeta, Goku, Future Trunks, Gohan. It wouldn't affect them because they're two geniuses talking science to each other while trying to find an exit. Eventually, they'll find the exit. They get kicked off the lookout. They find out they're in classic Dragon Ball, where the Red Ribbon Army has started to make a name for themselves. They're horror, and they're like, we can make something of this. Meanwhile, the GUN on that side, I haven't revealed too much. I'm not going to reveal too much here. Meanwhile, the GUN on their side is like, yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of stuff come out of Robotnik. Sonic, Tails, we're already sending Shadow and Rouge to investigate, but we could use your investigation too. You fight them more often. And that's where Sonic and Tails discovers a portal that leads to the Dragon Realm, and basically Robotnik's been messing shit up.
Fair enough. That's pretty interesting. I know someone's done, they've mixed the whole, there's people who have done, they've created a whole new timeline with new stories. There's some people who have gone past the Forces point and past the actual Dragon Ball point. But I want something to make actual sense. So I found 2 time slots using the Sonic X anime is perfect use. So what I did is I put, so in this universe, if you haven't seen Sonic X, at the start of it, Eggman collects all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and he uses his machine to create a Chaos Control that warps them to another universe or timeline. Very terrible how it works. I'm very terrible at how it explaining how these work. But the main point is that, in this timeline, they create a rift in space and time that sends into another universe using the Master Emerald alongside all 7, supercharging their Chaos Emeralds. And while that's happening, it's going to rip a hole in space-time continuum, destroying both of the universes. But what saves them is the Dragon Balls get zapped by the Super Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald. Yes, it's a bit outlandish. They're able to fix that little space-time mend by warping where the whole catastrophe was happening, Sonic's Earth, Sonic's moons, a nice chunk of that area mixing into as the 2 worlds collide. So then the Dragon Ball world is also Sonic's world. So then we get Goku meeting Sonic at the point where Goku is it's post Dragon Ball but pre Dragon Ball Z. So the power gap,
that 5-year time skip.
So I can use that 5-year time skip as something good instead of Goku just going, I'm asleep basically for 5 years. So basically what happens is that Eggman, using his smart manipulation like he did to Knuckles, because he ends up side where Goku and Bulma are in the forest, uses Goku's dumb knowledge to his advantage by, talking to him to start off with, calling himself a scientist, which catches Bulma's attention, how he's really smart, says that he has an arch nemesis named Sonic, as Goku goes after Sonic. They fight. Sonic is faster, but Goku still takes the cake being stronger and having a better fighting style and better everything, but then goes to pull, hey, Sonic's dead, now you're dead, and then Goku's just like, nope, and like Eggman gets wiped. Sonic is confused.
Schmidt put a nope joke in there.
Nope.
There you go.
As Goku fires a Kamehameha, like incinerating Eggman's whole army of robots. And
again, I will
Sonic's
interrupt you because these people need to check out those videos, the videos of my guests. So be sure that you do it. And be sure you check out the What If Robotnik was part of the Red Ribbon Army from my channel as well. Links in the links in the StevDeScussion. Because those are always good, always good. I will reveal something for just the people that pay attention to the StevDeScussions. This is something that you will know about the timeline that nobody else will know, and you as well, Lagg. So it's not just a matter of they got blasted through to the hyperbolic time chamber. They broke a hole in another universe. Sonic's universe is universe 13 when it isn't deleted.
Interesting. That's some smart lore.
So that there you go. You got a little bit of a secret for what is to come up after I'm done with classic Dragon Ball in that timeline. So if those of you who are here for the StevDeScussion, hey, thank you very much for coming by and listening to this to Dragon Ball nerds and apparently video game nerds now. Absolutely gush about their projects. And we'll be getting on to the next one on the list.